Then they get nuked to oblivion.
Green Team Empire goodbye. That kiss that top 10 ranking goodbye. Coalition that just jumped you, they're gonna jump you again. They are gonna know that all of these countries.
In this scenario, we will be looking at a past timeline where the Green Team is able to beat their coalition. Keep in mind, a while back English Jew gave me the thumbs up to make this scenario after him, but his is also very good and definitely my inspiration. Go check out that video and his channel. Immediately jumping in, we will go straight to the religion problem and the genocide. Here we won't see the Green Team stop at all, and over time, they will fully genocide the entire red population living inside them. We will see how this is able to help them later. The next thing we can see is the Green Team forming an economic alliance with two other countries, being the Purple Arabian country and the Blue Central Asian team. Recently, the Purple Arabian country swapped from a flawed democracy to a fascist country. Did the Green Team have something to do with that? Maybe. While these two events were happening, the Green Team is able to talk with the Parallelogram Alliance and make their relations better. They even start to somewhat merge their economic alliance and trade goods with them. All of this happens around 6 months to a year, and during this the Green Team is able to build up their military just a bit more, eventually getting themselves to the 9th place in the military rankings. But now we can look at the actual war. Late 2016, the Green Team makes the same mistake and accidentally moves forces into Yellow Team territory. Obviously, this is breaking their treaty with the Holy Russian Empire Alliance and will form a coalition against Green Team expansion. The Holy Russian Empire will declare war as their alliance and attack all alliance, but the other countries will be Caucasia, Kazakhstan, the Lime Mesopotamian country, Persia, Afghanistan, Tibet, and finally, India. And all of a sudden the Green Team's like, what? The Green Team will instantly slap their troops into the Yellow Russian team and capturing its capital and getting to the outskirts of the capital of Kazan. True, not a good start for the Holy Russian Empire. Unfortunately for Kazakhstan, they're getting invaded by their old ally once again and being just destroyed. The Green Team will focus on trying to cut off Kazan and Kazakhstan and pull off something similar to an encirclement of Kazakhstan, which for now isn't possible. For now, as they have a much bigger problem to deal with, they will start to send their defensive troops up north to keep the Russians from invading and send down their offense forces down to deal with India. A less important front we could look at is the Caucasian front. As the Green Team's puppet is not very protected or strong, they are able to push into it, taking land along the coast. Green Team forces were severely unprepared for this coalition, which allows for Indian and Persian troops to flow right through their land. The Mesopotamian countries in the war are also having a massive wave of nationality as the Green Team is genociding their people. Speaking of that, we can see there is no Brown Team rebellion, as all the people who originally lived here are all mostly dead. Afghanistan and Tibet, also with the help of Indian troops, will be able to capture 3 major cities in Afghanistan with start a spearhead. Speaking of spearheads, the plan for now is to cut off the Green Team from their Persian land and eventually just spread out and take all the remaining major cities until the lands are liberated. The plan after that is to make a spearhead and go straight up to the capital. Immediately step 1 of the encirclement is in play, as around 120,000 Indian and Persian troops march right into Green Team territory, capturing a major city and move towards the Caspian Sea. They do end up being very successful in this spearhead, as many Green Team forces are still coming down to fight and are still unprepared, which allows for the Indians to get right up to the sea. Unfortunately, around 50,000 troops on both sides end up clashing into the sides of the spearhead, which forces the troops to retreat. This unexpected encirclement allows for around 70,000 Indian/Persian troops to be captured, with only 50,000 of the others escaping. This leads us into the bloodiest battle of the war so far. Over the course of a week, the Indian troops are completely encircled and pushed into a Green Team city and attempt to hold out there. The leftover troops try to spearhead and recapture the city and evacuate their men, but it's unsuccessful, and they unfortunately lose around 85,000-ish coalition men in the process, with only 30,000 Green Team men lost. On the Persian front, however, we can't say it's going the same as Persia moves in and captures another major city. The Green Team loses its access to the ocean, disrupting a lot of its trade and hurting its economy. Now moving back up to the Russians, Green Team troops roll right onto Yellow Team territory and is getting very close to the border of West Crimea. Caucasia gets pushed back, but mainly to go focus on the puppet state. Meanwhile, up in Kazan, they're able to take their capital and cut them off from Kazakhstan, completing step 1 and isolating Kazakhstan. Speaking of Caucasia, they are able to move into more puppet land until 2 new post-old Imperial countries join the war to help out the coalition. With new help, the coalition forces regain morale and begin to re-push into Green Team territory, taking multiple major cities. Going back to Tibet and Afghanistan, their front continues to go successful as Afghanistan makes a spearhead towards another major city, capturing it while Tibet takes over farmland, which doesn't do much. Although they just took out many coalition forces, the Green Team is starting to lose more and more hope until the economic allies of the Green Team and the new fascist countries will join the war to help the Green Team. They totally didn't force them to do it or anything, right? As the coalition was definitely not prepared for this, they get slapped in the face and the Purple Team starts marching into some of the most valuable land in the entire world. Most of their troops are not even in their country protecting it, and instead invading the Green Team. Meanwhile, the anchor country isn't very strong, probably one of the weakest, however. Perchance the Green Team already had troops stationed in them, and they start marching into Kazakhstan and Tibet. But for now, let's focus on Kazakhstan. As a new front opens, more Green Team forces rush to try and take out Kazakhstan, and is successful in taking out their capital and last major city. As this happens, their government collapses and stops working. The military will take over and decide to surrender. Meanwhile, in Arabia, their ally is able to move right into Lime Team territory. They catch them right off guard as most of their troops are in Green Team territory. While a new front opens and Purple Team forces slam into the Asian continent, Indian and Mesopotamian men either flee back to the main country or go to fight in the Lime Team. Most of the men are smart enough to flee back to their home country, abandoning the Lime Team. Once it's already too late, they realize they should have stayed to keep the Mesopotamians from reaching the Asians. But as they start to move back, their forces get trapped in the Red Puppet as they try to rebel. They are forced to give their front line to Persia. As the Red Team successfully gains their independence, India gets a lot of backlash from the other countries that occupy the core Red Team lands like Norway, the Dutch Team, and China, because now this will motivate the Mesopotamian people to try and unite their occupied country. The troops that escaped the Red Team front are now moving and forming a spearhead, which is successful in capturing one major city and gets on the outskirts of their capital. As Tibet and Afghanistan make efforts into pushing into farmland, the fascist African countries state, "If you do not leave this war and pay reparations to the Green Team, we will have nothing else to do but join this war in an effort of trying to help the Green Team." This does scare them a bit, however. They still continue to fight on with the Green Team, showing their strength up in the Russian countries. The Green Team will flex their military even more as they push coalition men away from their capital and start to try and encircle the spearhead forces. As the Green Team is somewhat occupied somewhere else, Caucasia and the 2 Mesopotamian countries are able to push deeply into their puppet and take over around half of it. Seeing the recent gains the coalition is making and also not wanting the Mesopotamian people to go extinct, the Teal country will join the coalition, however. The African nations will join the side of the Green Team. They were not playing when they said they would. They gave them a warning and happening. Ethiopian and Chadian troops land on the coast of the Teal country only 2 days after they joined the coalition. But as we wait for other parallelogram troops to arrive, let's look somewhere else. The coalition is able to pull off one of the biggest encirclements the world has ever seen. The Green Team isn't too worried about this though, as more troops will soon be arriving from Africa. Now back to the African nations. They are sliding right through this country as it definitely is not one of the strongest. However, they will get a lot of backlash for this because many countries are saying this is World War IV. As tens of thousands of troops move right into the Middle East, the Lime team is quick to fall, and eventually the troops bolt right up into the encirclement of Green team land. And now over 150,000 troops are running straight up to fight the coalition. As parallelogram forces move into Green team land to take out coalition troops, a very smart general in the Green team decide to pull around 75% of their troops up to deal with the Holy Russian Empire and hopefully take them out of the war. Literally 30 minutes after Green team troops are spotted along the border of the Black team, they decide to leave the Holy Russian Empire and leave the war. As troops must be rushed out of the Black team and new Green team troops move up to fight the Russians, the Green team will push deeper into the Yellow Russian country and take Kazan's capital. Down in Mesopotamia, the two countries that actually recently joined will as well leave with the Black country and give some of the front line to Caucasia. Their thought behind this is they have no chance of beating the African countries, and once they lose, their people will be killed. With these two countries leaving, the parallelograms will slam right into the encirclement and break it, as well as getting another major city back. If we go back to the Holy Russian Empire, the northern Ukrainian country gets taken over by a fascist dictator and starts attacking their old allies' troops from behind. Meanwhile, with this betrayal, the Yellow Russian country surrenders as other troops flee out of it. After the Ukrainian country gets a fascist dictator, they start to fund rebels in the actual Russian country. As most of their military isn't even in their own territory, they soon encircle the capital, surrender, and join the side of the Green team. The leader of the Moscow country will get assassinated suddenly and get annexed by Russia once the new dictator gets put in power. After all of Kazan's allies either switch sides, leave the war, or get invaded, they are left by themselves with no connection to the other coalition members, and eventually the men they were just fighting with are now fighting against them, eventually fully occupying them. The nations who initiated this war officially surrender, and now the Green team as well, as the African nations can move their troops and mainly focus on India. But first, there's someone they need to take care of. Green team and Russian forces move into the north of Caucasia, while the Africans move in from the south. With no Russians supplying them anymore, they slowly get invaded. However, with the Caucasus Mountains, it slows them down quite a bit, but as Caucasia realizes they could get fully annexed if they don't surrender, so they decide to surrender. As hundreds of thousands of troops make their way back to the main front line, Persia is greatly pushed back, making it impossible for another encirclement to happen. As they capture around 4 major cities, they begin to pull back a few troops to go deal with Tibet and Afghanistan, which get pushed back severely, with Afghanistan almost losing their capital. This definitely worries China though, because if they continue to fight, they might lose 2 of their allies, maybe even collapsing the Circle Alliance. As Persia begins to take more major cities back, something which will definitely put the nail in the coffin for one side will happen. The Lime team rebels away from both Indian and Persian land. As a once great power appears on the map once again, they destroy the morale of tons of troops. But then, something changes. A lot of troops suddenly just disappear from the front lines. The Persians slowly and cautiously move back into Green team land, until we see where the troops went. Hundreds of boats with thousands of men are launched into the water off the coast of the Yemen countries and the Horn of Africa. As India was not expecting this at all and was too focused on the Lime team, they are quickly beat back while thousands of troops land in the Junagadh area. Many landings are made around here, but there's about 6 or 7 main ones, especially the one near the capital. With this new landing, Indian troops rush out of all other countries and leave them by themselves. Eventually, 2 landings will be able to take 2 major cities. And as more and more troops flow into these landings, they are able to connect up with each other, further strengthening this front line. The only place where it's unsuccessful is near the capital, as most of the Indian troops are stationed there protecting their capital no matter what. Most of the troops are put back onto boats and make it to the main landing and work to capture 2 other capital cities. Obviously, because of this large amount of Indian troops leaving their allies, the Green team sees an opportunity to take out the Circle team members. They immediately flow troops into Tibet, forming a spearhead in a plan to encircle Afghanistan. It goes very successful, and the Tibet forces can't puncture the encirclement at all. With this, Afghanistan slowly dies, but never surrenders. They fight till the end. Unfortunately, as they fall, the spearhead's focus is now on Tibet's capital, which ultimately makes them leave the war, making only Persia and India the only two fighting. The only troops that are fighting with Persia are Persian men, which is terrible as they aren't getting any support from India, with the goal being to take out Persia. Many troops rush into their lands, and they quickly fall. India sees all of their allies fall, and now they see millions of troops charging into their land. All of the Russian men, all of the Central Asian men, all of the Green Team men, all of the Mesopotamian men, and especially all of the African men are now fully focused on taking out India. The landing that the Gold Team made in India is still going successfully as they capture 2 more maker cities. Even more landings are being made near the capital of India, in which they all meet up and start marching towards the capital for possibly the bloodiest battle in the war. But first, let's look at Persindia, as they are able to get back most of their exclaves and start moving troops into Indian land, as there's troops from all over helping them. The government of India knows they cannot win this. However, they still choose to fight on, even with millions of troops entering their country. Until the people have something to say about this. Multiple provinces join together and rebel against the Indian government, specifically over in the east, where it's less populated. But as one of the bloodiest battles is fought, the Gold Team sees success in capturing the capital of India forcefully, making them surrender. As the war finally comes to an end after around 2 years, we can see all the land that has been invaded, all the men that have died, and all of the way to second, there's something the Green Team forgot about. Okay, there we go. This coalition started October 17, 2017 and ended in January 12, 2019, ultimately last around a year and a half long. But now, we can finally see the peace treaty. Starting with Pink Kazakhstan, the anchor country will take a nice chunk out of them and make a new province somewhere up in the north. I honestly forgot where though. And taking a look at what the Green Team took. By showing the province map, you probably thought they would only take a little bit, right? Okay, I'll shut up. The yellow country who started this war in the first place will get fully annexed, while the black country ends up leaving the Holy Russian Empire. Kazan will get a few provinces taken from them by the Green Team, but most notably, their capital. The other Russian countries will also get some land as they switch sides. Caucasia will only get around half of their country taken away because they did end up surrendering. Over in Mesopotamia, the Gold Team will annex some of the coastal lands, while the rest is split up into either a puppet, given to Yemen, or given to the Purple Team. The Lime Team will get some land taken from the Purple Team, while the Green Team takes the coastal land, but if we look down, we can see there's still some lime in the south. In Central Asia, the anchor country will only get around a half of a province in Tibet. As Afghanistan lost this war, they will be completely wiped off the map and replaced by their old brother. China and Tibet do everything they can to stop it, but as China was not in this war, they don't really have much influence. Meanwhile, a bit south of Afghanistan, the Persian country will also get completely wiped off the map, being mostly annexed by the Green Team. But of course the Lime Team also came back, so you can't forget about them. And India, oh boy, India. First off, in the Far East, the Red Team will get their independence, as well as the Northern Orange country. However, that blue rebellion we saw in the war did not get their independence. But we still are not done with India, because the Lime Team will gain all their pre-World War II borders back. And maybe the biggest shocker, the Gold Team will get a semi-colony in this region where they invaded. They also will annex the Indian Red Team occupation zone, which will in the future bring in tons of people and money. Also, now that the Green Team has all of the Caspian Sea land, they will annex their puppet state and renaming themselves to Caspia. Here, we can see the final product and just how massive Caspia got. Caspia also will get a couple more countries in their economic alliance, as well as becoming the leader of the Holy Russian Alliance. They completely restart the alliance to have nothing to do with the Russians, but make them and their allies rejoin it. Caspia has now done it. They have won the coalition and definitely doubled in size. But I think this is where I'm going to be ending this scenario. So if you did end up liking it, then please consider liking and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you would like a part 2.